Welcome back. I want to start by apologizing. I know the last recording was trash, and I'm holding myself accountable for skipping a day. This recording, as you can probably already hear, is also going to be trash, but I have to record 2 today since I didn't record yesterday, and I don't know what's going on outside, but I feel like there's maybe a takeover happening. Let me say that this episode is going to be about my dating life. That was the initial plan. I was going to call the episode Vasectomies. We'll get into that later. But a lot of ATVs and side-by-side off-road vehicles were driving in front of my house a lot. So I was waiting to start recording because it was loud. And then I started to hear in a different direction someone yelling. Loud enough that it sounded as though the yelling was happening at my fence. Again, I don't know if I've stated this. I don't even live on a paved road. I live on a dirt road. There are more off-road vehicles that pass my house than actual vehicles. So I'm pretty rural. So for me to hear so much activity is rare, and it kind of has me on high alert. So I was waiting to record, and I said, fuck it, I'm just gonna record with all the background noises. So I can hear someone yelling. I still hear, and you'll probably hear the rumble of these UTVs. And I also may be walking because I'm checking out my window to make sure that I'm not being ambushed. That's another not so fun part of being solo. I would say 90% of the time, I feel very safe here. Maybe even 95% of the time, I feel extremely safe here. Which is why I bought my place. It takes a lot for me to feel safe. So I feel safe here. However, there's still that, 5 or 10% that knows if someone wants to take me out, they can take me out. We're going to have some issues for them getting there because they have to get through a lot of barriers before they get to me, with weapons and dogs and other safety features on my property. So they'll have to be determined. But at that point, should I even, if they're that determined, then I'm just gonna die. I'm gone. I'm gonna die. So it sounds like it's quieted down. But, so we'll talk about vasectomies. I was washing a dish, and I started thinking about all of these stupid one-liners that I get in my messages on FetLife. For those of you that don't know what FetLife is, I'm not getting into that now. For those of you that do, hello. So, I get these just really dumb one-liners from guys, and I was thinking about the hottest line a guy could ever say to me, which is, I have had a vasectomy. I fluster not every time as if I've just been with a bunch of snipped guys, but that's hot shit. Vasectomies are sexy, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. And then that got me thinking about the time I did date a guy who had a vasectomy, and I told him wow, that was like really hot. That was the hottest thing a guy is, that's the hottest thing a guy can say to me. But he was married. And that's when I realized, ooh, I should probably get into some of these stories. So he was married and in the Navy, and his wife knew about me. They were in an open relationship. She had recently had a baby. They had been in open relationships before, and because she was postnatal, is that it? Postmarital? I don't know. I mean, not marital. Maternity? I don't know what it's called. I don't know much about pregnancy things. Anyways, she didn't want to have sex, so it was okay for him to go out. For people who aren't familiar with open, like consensual open relationships and poly relationships, this is all going to sound absurd and just like a bunch of cheating people. But trust me when I say everything was ethical and open. We were in an ethically non-monogamous situation. And so every time he would come visit me, I lived in a neighborhood with amazing bakeries. Some of the best bakeries in the city, at least one of them, was a 1-block walk from my house. So we would go together to the bakery and he'd pick out something for her. They had an agreement that whenever he had a play date, we'll call it, with anyone, because they had been in this situation before, he just had to bring her back baked goods and iced coffee. That's it. That was their thing. Just, for whatever in their relationship, that's what made her feel safe and secure and everything on the up and up. So we would go together to the bakery and he would pick stuff out for his wife before he left to go back home. He had a vasectomy, and his wife recently had a baby. Are you getting this now? He had a vasectomy for a few years, and his wife just had a baby. Which is why kind of this agreement was out. However, she didn't cheat. It was a situation where they were playing with others and someone accidentally. Yeah. Crazy. So anyways, I was thinking about that when I thought about vasectomies, about that guy. He was a really nice guy. And we had fun together. It was very short-lived, that relationship. That was only, I would say, a month or 6 weeks or something like that. And I think he would come visit me probably once a week. He was very sweet, though. One time I had sent, there was a meme that I would always send out when someone would say they miss me. Whenever I was dating a guy who would say, I miss you, then I would send him this little picture that would say, don't tell me you miss me, in a text. Say you miss me by showing up at my door or something like that. So I'm sure at some point I had sent that to him, and one morning he sends me that picture and he's like, let me know when you wake up. And I woke up about an hour after he sent that text, or 2 hours. And I'm, texting with my friend to make coffee plans or whatever. And then I finally respond to him. and he was in his car outside of my building to surprise me. So this is going over time. It's already at almost 12 minutes. I'm sure there's some things that I'm going to have to cut out, but that's my story about vasectomies, is that guy that I dated. And that year was a crazy year where I decided I was just going to do whatever felt good, no matter what society had thought. And it was a very big learning year. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about my sexuality. I learned a lot about my body. I learned to appreciate my body so much more that year. I learned to be more confident in dating and just in general, because I dated a lot of people that year, and had a lot of, I just went on a lot of dates and had a lot of fun experiences, and everybody that I dated contributed to my growth. So that was an amazing year. I believe that was 2019. I don't recall, but so that's it for now. I don't really know how to end this, but the hottest thing a man can ever say to me is, I have a vasectomy. We'll end it at that. Bye.